A win is a win is a win. I mean, am I right? Tennessee defeats the Florida Gators 23-17 on Rocky Top, Checker Neyland. The environment was set. But again, another offensive struggle, another game where we truly still do not know what we have at quarterback with Nico Iamaleava. Another game where second half, I felt like we did make adjustments this time. Offensively, we started to see some things that we've been begging for. But we can all say this at the top of the show on the next day. It's not going to be enough. What we just did is not enough to win on the third Saturday in October. But you already know what it is, man. It's the next day. Tennessee beats Florida. You got to be happy if you are a Vol fan. Now, can we be upset about things? Yes. And we're going to have a lot of things to talk about. I got my boy Sale. I got my boy C2. Y'all know what it is, man. It's Ruck in the building, and it's straight up Tennessee, baby. Welcome to the next day, Florida week. Let's ride. Let's ride. Let's ride, man.
First play, second quarter, touchdown Tennessee. That throw's intercepted. Pierce down the sideline. Touchdown.
What's happening? Straight up Tennessee fam. It's your boy Ruck. Like I said, got my guy C2, got Sale. What's happening, bros? How we up?
With the Vols, I'm happy. It was good. I just left the Titans game. That was not good. Before anyone talks about me wearing a Titans jersey, it's Derrick Henry. So this is not a weak jersey. Man. It's a strong jersey.
Shout out D Hen, man. Sale out here house sitting, got cats meowing, but how we up, Brody? How we up on a Sunday, man, after Tennessee, Florida?
I disagree. A win is not a win. I disagree with that.
Oh my gosh, here we go.
I'm a principal guy. We're gonna dive into that though.
Oh my god.
It's good to be on here with you guys, man. Let's get into it.
I'm going to say it. Let's start off like this. Obviously, man, we'll hit everybody. Just what you feel like over the game. And sorry, y'all, I barely got a voice. It's going to be a long few minutes, hour. I was snotty before I got to Knoxville. Then the game happened, and it is what it is. So bear with me. I'm sorry for my Apple and Spotify family. Y'all going to have a great time listening to this on a Monday. Just initial thoughts. Okay, let's talk about it like this. I'll set it up this way. Sale said this weeks ago, and I'm done not believing it. There will not be a team score more than 20 points on Tennessee. It is what it is. I've seen it now, literally six games, and nobody can do it. And I'm starting to now understand that Tim Banks is not going to be here much longer. He's currently coaching without a contract, if you guys didn't know. And he's either going to get a bag. He's either going to get a bag from Heupel, or he's going to go be a head coach somewhere next year and go make millions doing that. I don't know, but his defense is playing well. Were they perfect? No. But when they're put in bad situations, every game, you cannot expect them to stay perfect. Very, very impressed. I think we saw what that defensive back room needs to be. We'll dive into that a little bit because Andre Turrentine, I think it's time to sit him down because Christian Charles played, lights out. We'll talk about the defense. Offensively, same woes, man. First half not scoring. I'm tired of it. We cannot do this week against Bama. We do this on Saturday. It might look a lot like that Georgia Alabama game the first half, but again, can I say this right now on a Sunday? Bama suspect, y'all. Like they want to lose bad. And this is the type of game that you give them no hope in. You coming into the crib.
Come on. We gonna get there.
Okay. My bad. Okay.
Yo, this is supposed to be about last night's game. We talk about Bama tomorrow.
Let me preface. I'm sorry.
You're jumping the gun, bro.
And we'll dive into all of this, but y'all know how I get, man. I get too animated. Anyways, Dylan Sampson is a dude. Nico is still trying to figure things out. Hype will finally put him in great situations in the second half, rolling him out left, right, but still he wasn't executing at a high level. Let's just say it is what it is. We had 3 overthrows. 2 of them receiver's fault. 1 of them just who is he throwing the ball to? And you still, there's nothing in my mind. And he's aware, at least. Joe Milton never said that he was wrong for doing anything, ever. He's just like, in football, you make mistakes. Like, no, bro, you throwing it into freaking 12 people. They got 11 on the field. Somehow there was a 12th, and you still threw it, Joe.
Are we figuring out that Nico just wasn't ready last year? Are we figuring that out? Like he has the talent, but he doesn't have the IQ yet to go with it? Is that what we're figuring out from the last 2 weeks?
We can dive into it. Keep that there. But all in all, I disagree with what Sel said just a second ago. When you when the last 20 years, you've beat a team in Florida now 3 times in 20 years, back-to-back home wins in Neyland for the first time since 1992. I think a win is a win when you're playing the Florida Gators. But Sel, what's your analysis? Just overall gist of the game. Talk about it.
My bad, y'all. I apologize for this cat. I might hop off and relocate and then hop back on. But first, actually, hold on. C2, you take care of it. I'm gonna hop back on. Y'all go ahead. My apologies.
Go ahead, C.
I won't get into too many individual players here. I'll save that for a little later in the show. But overall analysis is our defense is elite, like maximum level elite. The fact that we put them in those bad situations multiple times a game and we still went into the half only down 3 is huge. The fact that we got a fumble, we took away a fumble literally on the goal line is huge. We are officially a team that can beat anybody. Unfortunately, we are also a team that, if our offense doesn't score, may be able to lose to not anybody, but Georgia, Alabama, a couple of the mid to high level teams for sure.
We'll wait for Sel to kick back on, but while we wait for Sel, let's just go to the chat, man. See how the chat feeling. What's happening, Noah? He says, GBO, we won. That's all that matters. And since the game was in hand, I talked my crap to the gay GAY tour fans.
When was the game in hand?
Yeah, I don't know, but I respect it. Anyways, Clout says, woke up in the winner's circle. Not a pretty win, but a dub's a dub. Got to clean it up before Bama, but this team is capable of getting it done. Speaking of that, man, tomorrow night's going to be awesome, man. As we always do when we're able to collaborate with other creators and other teams and things like that. I love to bring them on for our Who Is show. So tomorrow night live, Who Is Alabama, the homie Stephen Cawley. If y'all remember, man, he's been on the show multiple times since we started the show a few years ago. Stephen will be joining us live to talk about the Alabama Crimson Tide. Me and him talked on the phone today for about 30 minutes, and he don't feel good at all. And I wouldn't if I was a Bama fan at all. But it's going to be an awesome show. Chris says, trying to figure out how we win and drop to 11. Yeah. What do you think about that, bro? Like, that's insane. I think that's the craziest thing, truly, to me, of the role. And I get it to some extent, right? But
I get the drop. I totally dropped to 11. My issue with the drop to 11 is Alabama staying at 7. because
Yeah.
they lost to Vanderbilt last week and then struggled just like we did this week, and they didn't drop.
Nope.
That's some bias,
That's
in
some,
my opinion.
That's all that is. That's all that is. Let's see. Clout says, Ruck, that tailgate setup was looking clean. Y'all boys was doing it right. Hey, man, if you in town, pull up on us, man. That boy Chris, man, the tailgate. Chris told me yesterday. He looked me right in my eyes and said, hey, buddy, no matter what happens in Neyland Stadium, we've never lost a tailgate. I was like, dude, you are so right, bro. You are so right. Adrian, what's happening? My boy said, what's good? Dylan's in the building. Chris said, tailgate is always good, my boys. Hey, Dylan said, Sales look like he house sitting for Morgan Wallen with that guitar in the back. Hey, speaking of, before we go deeper, the fourth, and I know y'all weren't there, but the fourth quarter song has changed. It was The Way I Talk by Morgan Wallen. No Garth Brooks. I was happy about it. It was just it's a nice change. Everybody was turned when it was like, it gets loud when I'm cheering on the volunteer. You know what I'm saying? It was up. Yeah. It was kind of fun. So shout out to Vol Nation. Shout out to Tennessee. You know, always trying to reinvent the narrative. Somebody's a negative Nancy already. I don't know who you're talking about. Noah, maybe Sale.
He was talking about Sale.
He said, if you are +1 on the scoreboard, that's all that matters. In a game like Florida, that's what I believe. But any other game, I probably would have been hot. And Alabama. Like next week, if you give me that same score, ain't no way you're going to be telling me, man.
And Georgia.
I'm taking it. And Georgia. D-Samp, best running back in the SEC. Absolutely. What's up, Jonah? What's up, Jonah? Hey, that merch getting cooked right now, brother. So we're going to be shipping out to you soon. Clout says, D-Samp, we need you back on the show. Tag him. Put D-Samp in the tags. I'm telling you, I think D-Samp is, man, I love D-Samp, man. We had good times, man. A couple years ago, we hung out at a football camp. That's a good dude, man. And so would love to get him back on. Dylan Elam says, I'm figuring out that we were way too hard on Joe Milton. I think that's a little true. I think the only difference that I'm hearing and that I do believe is that the fact that Joe had been playing college football for 5 years and still couldn't do it. That's why people were more frustrated with Joe. Mm-hmm. Now you got a guy who everybody's like, well, he's really a sophomore. Y'all, he's a freshman on the football field. I don't care if it's like me saying, Sale, that's like me saying, I play in the NBA and I ain't played for 2 seasons. But, now I get on the floor on my 3rd season and I'm struggling. Bro, I ain't played in no structured game in literally, he ain't played a structured game in over 18 months. He played against Iowa in the bowl game. Yes, amazing. But one game is not going to give you what you need for reps. Like you need live reps against great teams, and that's what we're getting right now. And we getting smacked, and he's learning. And so keep learning, bro. The chat is crazy. We'll hop back in here in just a minute. Sal, overall analysis, bro. Give it to us. How do you feel on Sunday after Tennessee beats Florida?
I'll keep it short. Me and my dad were texting the whole time during the game, and there was 2 things that was basically on repeat. What else can the defense do? Like literally, what else can the defense do? And then second, D-Samp is the best player on the offense, so give the man the ball. Just give the man the ball. Make life easy. We're making the games overcomplicated. Dial it down, make it simple. Who would ever thought that under Heupel we would have 2 games with no passing touchdowns and 2 0 halves? It's just I don't know. My expectations, my outlook on the rest of the season is changing. So,
yeah, I think everybody's is, and I think it starts this Saturday. I really, really do. I think if what happens Saturday, which we'll talk about later in the show, because I mean it's so easy to just jump into that. But what happens Saturday is going to tell us if we lose 3 or if we lose 1 more potentially.
You got to stop jumping into things early. I'm going to start calling you Lance Hurd.
Oh, God. Oh, God. You said something about Dylan Sampson. You know, Dylan Sampson is only 3 scores away from – sorry, y'all. This voice finna be yeah. He's 9 away from Tennessee's all-time rushing touchdown record, and I believe he's 3 away from the single season record, and we're only 6 games in.
Yeah,
that's pretty nuts, bro.
A couple weeks made it easy.
Say it again.
Those first couple weeks made it easy.
It did. But I mean, goodness, bro, it's not easy scoring 3 touchdowns a game, right?
Right.
Like, it's crazy, man. And so that's been encouraging, seeing him ball out, seeing him do his thing. But y'all, let's dive into this real quick. First quarter was interesting. I felt like the first drive, man, it couldn't have been any better. Like, the drive was so good, and it's ended by a fumble by Nico. At that moment, I felt like it was going to be one of those games. But that drive was beautiful. We looked like us. We looked like Tennessee the entire drive. And then Nico sees that, oh, I can run this. And he pulls it way too late, hits off Samp's side, fumble. Like, that can't happen, y'all. We work meshes all practice. Why is this happening?
It can't happen, but, and I could be wrong on this, how many actual like read option plays have we been running in the past 5 games?
I'm telling you this. I don't know this is true. I don't know this is fact. But I think that 7 out of 10 zone plays that Samp is getting are reads, but we just giving it to him. Like, watch it. Just watch the play develop. He's just giving it to him because, like Sale said, he's the best player in the football team. Just give him the ball. And like, even if it doesn't make sense,
on the field for sure.
It's like, if it doesn't make sense, like, still give it to him. He might do something, but I guarantee you, Nico has the go to pull that thing anytime he wants.
Okay.
But we don't. And it was there, bro. If he pulled that,
yeah,
we looking like Joe against UTSA last year. Literally, we out to the crib, Tutty.
But I think that just reinforces what I was saying when we were on the show on Friday. If you don't get real game practice doing it, it don't matter how often you're practicing it in practice. And he's not pulled it. He's not pulled it. So when he pulls it late, we fumble.
And what happened? Let's see. Let me just hit this in the chat real quick. Let's talk about this, y'all. Florida reached the red zone 5 times in less than 4 minutes of playing time last night. Offense has to tighten up immediately, or we're not going to win a lot of games. Well, y'all, we're 6 games in. Can y'all believe it's halfway over? Yep. Halfway over. Well, if you could fix one thing right now, what is it? Is it play calling? Is it Nico? To me, there's a lot of problems offensively, right? It's not just Nico. It's not just play calling, because they put him in great situations in the second half and he didn't execute. The biggest problem to me is the O-line. Nico's not getting sacked up the middle. Cooper Mays and Spraggs handling their business. But if he has – and people are like, he's holding on to the ball too long. Y'all, if you've ever watched Tennessee play, it typically takes about 4 to 6 seconds for the route to fully develop because of how far out we are. Okay? That is why Jalen Hyatt was getting butt naked all the time.
And that's something we got to change.
It's a slow developing route tree, right? And Sale, you said it started. You said that has to change. Second half, what did we start doing to make those routes develop? We started rolling him. Rolling him out, get him in space, because by the time you hike it, you can count. That's 1, I'm rolling, 2, I'm rolling, 3. By the time I'm about to raise up, we 4 seconds and squirrel right here, dump, bloop. Or the opposite side rollout when he wasn't going to throw it, but he threw it to Brazel, and Brazel went and make a play and jumped up and caught it. Like, what offensively is the problem to y'all? The O-line is horrible to me. I just have it's bad.
Exterior offensive line is bad. Nico's young. He's going to get better, or he's going to get beat out by someone we recruit. That's just the way that works. I personally think he's going to get better. I've not given up on the kid. Please don't hear me saying that, chat. But it's the exterior offensive line that's the issue.
Yeah. What you think, Sal?
Like I said earlier, we gotta make things less complicated. So those 4-second plays that take time to develop, we need shorter routes. I mean, you obviously had a better view of the field yesterday. We can only see so much on the TV, but like for instance, that play with Brazil late in the game, I don't necessarily think we have to have a play like that in that situation, but I think D. Sampson's your best player. Stop throwing the ball. It's the same recipe. Throw on first, run on second, then it's a third and short, third and medium type of play, and we don't get it. Run it first and second down. Get it third and short. Who knows? D. Samp might get it. Like, change it up the play call. I think it's as simple as give the ball to the best player on the team. I would rather us run the ball more, even though he had, 27 carries? Yeah. I think, but run the ball on first down, though.
Did y'all notice that it was late in the fourth. We got the ball back. I think this was before the game was tied. We were up 17-10. And we were trying to run a middle screen to Dylan Sampson, and it got batted. You remember that play?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. It got batted down. D. Samp was like 5 yards in front of the line. It got batted down, y'all.
He would have been gone.
There was nobody in front of him, bro. It got batted.
He would have been gone.
But if that ball didn't get batted, y'all, I'm trying to tell you, I think the closest player to him was probably 12 yards. Like the safety was like playing a kind of like a too shallow. Like he was kind of up in the zone, but like he didn't really know because we ran a hook route on the backside. So he's like 12 yards from where Samp was going to catch it and turn around. And I was like, this dude, I'm watching the play happen. I'm like, if he catches this is a different game, because Tennessee goes up 24-10. And it, like, everybody's feeling completely different now, right? But it didn't happen that way. Shout out to Noah James with the super chat. He says, when Florida missed the field goal in overtime, I knew we had it. I think everybody did. I think they knew that was it. Like, and I personally, y'all, I didn't think Heupel was gonna do his thing like that. And that last drive, he was like, I'm dropping my nuts right now. And I'm throwing the ball first play in overtime. Like, and you basically got the game won. He said, forget it, I'm throwing it.
I thought for sure we were gonna run it 3 times and kick a field goal.
Exactly. I did too, bro. Exactly. I'm watching it. Y'all, I'm like, there's no way he just passed it. And then when Nico pulled that RPO and hit Dante, I was like, what? Like, I was like, this is the Tennessee that I remember.
Yep.
Like, even when Heupel went for it on our own 10-yard line, 4th and 1, and we go for it, I'm like, that is Heupel.
Mm-hmm.
We got to keep that. I don't care if it's a risky, man. Like, that's what got you paid, Josh. That's what got you extended, was your ballsy play calling and you not really caring if anyone feels like, oh, man, Josh Heupel's being a punk. You didn't care. You put 66 on Missouri back-to-back years when you could have just put the foot off the gas. No, bro, we need Heupel back. What they said, we keep our foot on their throat. Well, we need to see it.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead, Sal.
So when Nico got the ball, first off, Nico got to get some stronger hands. But the play when he ran out of bounds on our sideline and dude punched the ball out and it fumbled out of bounds. And Heupel didn't realize the clock didn't stop because that was out of bounds and the time rolled off to 14. But he called a timeout and somehow they put the time back on. How did that work?
I had no idea, bro. I was in the same boat as you. Anytime that the ball is loose, it is dead when it hits the sideline. It's a dead ball. It's out. The ball is out. So it should have stayed 23 seconds. And they ended up putting it back on the clock.
Right.
But we still didn't get to keep our timeout, which was very strange. I didn't understand that part. I was like, what? Like, you made us call a timeout for you to fix what you accidentally did. It didn't make any sense, bro, to be honest.
Okay. Go ahead, C2. What you were saying.
Yeah, go ahead, C2.
I think that drive in overtime, he could have just run it 3 times. We could have kicked a field goal. And at first, I was disappointed we were throwing it because we could have lost the game. If something could have gone wrong, extending that drive. But I think that drive was him saying to our offense, I'm not going to let y'all take the easy way out of this game. If you want to win this, offensive line, you're going to have to block. Nico, you're going to have to read the defense and throw accurately. And D-Snap, you just keep doing what you're doing, man. Like, don't change. But I think that was him saying, you guys have to go win this game. The defense has done their job all game long. It's not up or shut
all
up
season
time.
long.
Yeah, all year long they have. I agree with all of that you said. But don't you also think, like, 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter till the end of game, you just started to see, you finally saw the offense like settle down almost. Like the O-line, pass pro. I was like, wow, they're pass blocking. Nico's in the pocket, like 5 seconds, and gets the opportunity to make a decision. Like, we didn't give up a sack in that time frame. And it's just like, what happens from quarter one to, back half of the second half where we just decide we want to play? I think about the play when Dylan Sampson ran it in to get us up 17-10, right? Lance Hurd ain't looked that athletic the entire year. But if you haven't seen the play and you went back and watched it, he's pulling, and he's the reason Sampson is running in the end zone. He's right in front of Dylan Sampson and springs him to a final little push by hitting the safety at the 10, and it gets Samp in. And it's like, Lance, for every bad thing, you do something like that. And it's like, who are you? Like, who are you gonna be, man? Because right now I'm like, I don't know how I feel about him. I don't know if he's really that good or if he's just like got the most upside. But you make a play like that, I'm like, God, this kid is talented.
It's the same problem. He's having the same problem that some NFL teams have every single year, and I do not understand why they still keep doing it. I understand injury risk is a thing, but where they don't play any of their starters all preseason, and then they come out week 1 and 2 and look sloppy as heck and don't know what they're doing, you cannot, especially as an offensive lineman, especially as a tackle, you cannot sit for weeks on end, not playing any real game, and then come in and be ready to punch someone in the mouth like you're going to have to against Florida with a block. Because those defensive ends, they're going to come for you because they've been playing. They're ready.
Yeah, I agree. And I like what Chris said here. He's like, we had a few big shots we missed. We just missed, like 2 for sure. 2 were walking touchdowns. And we can say walking touchdowns. Really, we know Squirrel is never going to catch a deep ball and score unless he's already in the end zone, because he don't know how to just catch and run. He want to catch and dive and tear his shoulder into pieces every time. But the Chaz Nimrod ball that Nico missed, the first one, that's just a miscommunication. If you watched it, he pushed the ball outside, but Chaz was just right on the seam, like right on the hash, bro. If he throws that with some zip right on the hash, it's a different game again. Clout says Nico has to work on not looking so obvious, looking at his target downfield. I think that comes with nerves. I think in pressure situations at times, he is super cool. He's super calm. He is all of those things. But in some pressure situations, you start to see the young freshman side of him, right? He's like, we just got a strip sack. James Pierce just freaking strip sack Graham Mertz on the 1 yard line. I got to go score. And we do all the right things that drive. And then Bruce literally got 3 people on him. But for some reason, we think that he was just like superhuman. And I was like, Nico, that's just bad. That's a bad ball.
That might be his worst.
That was what dang. Oklahoma was pretty bad too, though. Yeah. I mean, NC State was really bad too. Yeah. The first one.
Speaking of Nico being calm, I was like kind of worried yesterday a little bit. Well, first off, like just speaking of body language and everything, I don't know if y'all noticed, but when they zoom in our kicker, I don't know what it is with his eyes or something, but that man looked terrified. But he been solid though. But
My wife says he looks like Gru.
yeah.
He does though, for real.
But going into overtime, I thought we were going to lose, to be honest. I feel like body language, just the how they came back and tied it back up. I just didn't feel like the momentum was on our side. And sometimes with Nico being so calm, I knew the crowd was kind of booing. You could kind of feel at least from watching at home, it felt like the energy was shifting. You know how Tennessee fans can get when everything's not going our way or we think we know is best. We start booing, blah, blah, blah. He's a freshman and like he's cool, calm, collected. But I was just like, I wonder where his head is. Is his confidence? Is this getting to him? I was
Yeah.
really, and like, we haven't seen no hoorah out of Nico yet. So I was just like, I don't know how we don't know Nico like that yet because he's so cool, calm, collected. It's just like, what is going in and on in this kid's head? Like, what is going to happen if he's not giving us the 8 million NIL that we think that he's worth?
Yeah, yeah, and
I'm glad you brought up when they tied it up. So, well, you go ahead. I'll jump in because it's going to take us over to the defensive side. So
let's go to the defense. Keep growing, bro. Let's ride.
There are 3 people right now who are on C2's list. Lance Hurd, for sure. Lance Hurd, he's been on there pretty much all year. Campbell worked his way onto it this game, for sure. I was giving him a little leeway in Arkansas, but no, this game. And Turrentine. What in God's name are you doing out there, Turrentine? They had 3rd and long earlier in the game. He's running. The running back is right here in front of you. Hit him. Tackle him. But you just sat down in your seat and let him shove you over. Then next drive, I think it was, he blasts you, knocks you like 20 yards back, makes you look like a high schooler trying to tackle Derrick Henry. And then you let them tie the game when you're supposed to be the deep safety, and there's no other receiver for you to choose between, man. It's the guy running towards the end zone. Everyone else stopped 15 yards downfield. What are you doing?
Yeah. Andre Turrentine got worked last night, and I've never seen him play like that. He's been a sure tackler. He's been locked down in his zone, and last night he got exposed. And Christian Charles, who is a veteran, came out and was solid. Christian Charles saved us from a big run. Christian Charles folded up their best running back. Folded him up. 14 is Charles.
Okay.
He came in, big play. I mean, think about it this way. He folded up Montrell Johnson. Johnson gets hurt on that tackle. But if Charles doesn't make that tackle, Florida scores. Charles makes the tackle, Johnson gets hurt. Overtime. The first play of overtime for Florida, Lagway rolls right. Who's right there on the ball? Charles. Charles is right there guarding Boardingham. Gets the ball. He sells it because the coverage is too good. Like Christian Charles came to play. And that's the C Charles I thought we were getting in 21. Like when he came out as a freshman, he was going crazy like that in 21. And then he got hurt and he's been hurt since. And so it's been really encouraging. And it's been discouraging to see how bad Andre has been really the last 2 weeks. For you to get trucked like that, boy, boy, you got trucked. I'm talking nasty boy Mac trucked. It was not pretty. Like you seeing that on tape and your boys laughing at you. That's how bad it was. It was bad. And so I mean, I don't know. Let's see. I like this right here. Dylan says Lance Hurd puts his head down way too often. If you're going to sink your head into a block in the SEC, you're going to get swim moved and blown past every single time. Lance Hurd is the reason Nico got sacked that drive twice. Just not a way. what? And it's like I said, and then he does what he does when Sampson's running in, right? It's like, what are we doing, and what is he doing? It's just, it hurts. Let me see this, y'all. I know we're talking defense a little bit right now, but y'all know how this is. What's struggling the most is what gets the most attention, and it's the offense. Lil Clout is trying to start some drama real quick, but I want to read it.
Well, it's game. It's week. What's next week? Week 7.
Week 7.
No, this was week 7.
Clout says for Apple and Spotify, he says, do you think it's possible that we've somehow kept our play calling this vanilla for Bama not to have many looks on us?
Man, if we can't score on Bama next week, we got a problem because everybody can score on Bama's defense is very suspect.
Yeah.
That's not the reason we've been conservative, though. That's not the reason we've been vanilla. I promise
Dylan said to you, Sel, that's just Max, Sel. He's locked in.
Talking about the kicker.
Oh, yeah.
Chris says Nico we'll go back to what I said about the play calling in just a second. Chris says Nico needed to lead him upfield on the Brew interception. The safety fell and no one else was around. Nico saw that and just pushed it into coverage. That was true. I mean, from the stadium, you can see a little bit more than the camera gives you. And that the one high safety on the play, he really did shade to like his zone was on the other side of the field. If Nico saw it, but I think he threw the ball late. If you watch the play, he threw it late and still pushed it right. And then it gave time for that middle safety to get down. So it was bad. Just still terrible play. Arion Carter stepped up. Boy, he did. That pick, I thought it was a DB. No cap. I was like, that boy got up. He got up.
And McCoy bounced back too. Not bounced back.
Yes, he did.
Not bounced back because he didn't play bad last week. He just, like we said last week, there was just some dots that was thrown. But that boy, hey, I like that celebration. Forget the strap down. I love that. That was hard.
Yeah, hands behind the back. That's hard, ain't it? he wasn't even high. He just
I do this.
We strapped. You hear me? He played great. I thought
that one punt return too. There was nobody around him that he fair kept, but that was his first one. I think he did. So I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
You know, Ricky
Gibson there was one
game,
pass. There was one pass where if it's not McCoy, the cornerback on that side of the field, it's a touchdown. I can't remember what it is, but he was like, I don't know, 10 yards behind and just ran full bore down there to break that pass up. If it wasn't him on that would have been a touchdown.
Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about. McCoy was actually in the flat, C2. He was in the flat and saw like, oh shoot, there's a guy behind me, and the safety wasn't there. He was there, but he was behind him. You know what I'm saying? Bro, he hauled his butt back there and made that play, and I was like, this kid is special, bro.
It's hard to pick a defensive player of the game, man.
It's very hard. Very hard.
Hey, what's number 55's name for us on the D line?
That is Omar Norman Lott.
I mess with him. He's hard.
He is a dog.
Yep.
Omar is a dog, bro. That deal. Bryson Eason came to play. Tyree West is a demon. James, we ain't said nothing about James, but James came to play. I said
it needed to be. It needed to be this week.
James came to play. I'm talking the sack late. Everybody's like, Boo Carter's got that sack. James should have got that sack because James was there making the heck.
Push him into it.
Push him right into it. But Boo Carter played great last night too. I mean, this is the future, y'all. The future of the roster is showing up. Right. And we haven't seen this. And that's what I love. It's just now, can we get Mike Matthews involved offensively? Can we get Nico going? Just get him going. And I think, you know what sucks, and I'm going back to it. We did get him going, but then we fumbled, and it ruined everything. If we score that first drive, y'all, I think it's a long night for Florida. I really do. But we gave them the momentum after the fumble. Let's see. Look, Adrian right here. Free Mike Matthews. Free Mike. He said he hopes Dane Davis starts at right tackle as well. Man, I don't know if he will, but also Ricky Gibson played great last night. The defense played great, man. It's really
Literally.
that simple.
That might just be my new quote that I'm gonna just drop in the group for the rest of the season. I'm gonna just randomly, literally, what else can our defense do? That might just be put it on a shirt.
Hey, we're gonna put it on a shirt, bro. We should actually. Looking forward, y'all know the Monday show we dive in, and tomorrow we got that boy Stephen Cawley joining the show. It's gonna be a fun night. It's gonna be a really fun night. I can't wait. But it's Bama week, y'all, and there's a lot of things that go into this week. There's a lot of tradition. SEC Nation will be there. There will be energy, and I think, and I'll tell y'all this just from being in the stadium. Coming off the Arkansas loss, there was a lackluster type of energy to start the game.
About that.
Fans were just kind of nervous. It was a nervous energy. You know what I mean? Like, oh, what's going to happen? And then that first drive happens, and you could probably tell on TV because somehow anytime ESPN or ABC comes to Neyland, it's the loudest, like the loudest stadium I can hear when the commentator, like I'm watching the replay, like how does it sound so loud here? Like I know it's loud there, but like I watch ESPN games from all over the country, and it never sounds as loud as it does when it's at Neyland. And it wasn't like that to start the game, y'all. I think it was just a lot of nervous energy because you're coming off of a loss. It's Florida. We know the history. But now you get over the hump and you beat Florida for the second time. Back-to-back home games. You beat them since 1992. Now you get Bama. You get the oldest rivalry for Tennessee so far. I don't think Jalen Milroe's ever seen what he gonna see on Saturday as far as energy.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I'm dead serious. I know they went to Auburn in 4th and 31, but if you've ever went to Auburn, it's not a scary place to play. Like it's beautiful and it's loud. It's turned up. But when you get around there and you surrounded, ain't no gaps of air. When you in Neyland Stadium, the only air you got is up. Look up. You ain't got no peepholes through your stadium. You can't see out in the concourse. You can't see out of the stadium. When you in there, you in the jungle, man. Like you in there. And it's just not, it's not going to fare well coming off a win for us. And I hope we play defense first. That's all I'm going to say. I liked what we did, and we took the ball, played offense right against Florida. I hoped that we did that. I think we play defense first, and we see what the heck Bama's going to throw, because I saw when watching them play, if Ryan Williams cannot get off the ball, they can't do anything. Like they can't do anything. Did y'all look at the box score?
Yeah.
I mean, did you see what Alabama was able to do? Because it was a whole lot of nothing. Go look at the box score. I mean, it's really plain and simple. If you stop one person, you can win the football game. Ryan Williams against South Carolina. Just want you to look at this. The boy, excuse me, goodness gracious, voice is going day by day. Ryan Williams, 4 catches, 32 yards. His longest catch was 16 yards. Okay? No tutties. Jalen Milroe, 18 touches, fellas. 18. 36 yards rushing. He averaged 2 yards a carry. And still had 2 tutties. If you stop the passing game, I like Tennessee in the rush game all night long.
True.
All night long. I don't care if it's Milroe. I don't care. I don't care. Because their formations, if you haven't watched them play either, if you watch Alabama, their formations are predictable as well. Like if Milroe's in shotgun 5 wide and nobody's back there, he's running to the boundary. Wherever the left side or wherever the loaded side of the field, he's going left. He's gonna run the ball. If you see a motion out of the backfield, Milroe's running. I'm telling you, he's got 1 to 2 reads, and if it ain't there, he just running. And we got to stop that. We got to stop it. Milroe went 16 of 23 for 209, 1 tutty, and 2 picks. What this tells me as well, he wants to give the football up.
Yeah.
When he gets a little bit of pressure, he wants that. He don't want the ball. Can we do enough to get it done? This is a game that I never would say this. This is a game that the offense, if they do what we've done, we gonna lose. We will lose. But if they show up, Tennessee could run away with it. I'm serious.
I need some.
I'm really serious.
Sweet.
How y'all feeling?
One thing that I want. Go ahead,
Go
Sam.
ahead. I think it's going to be one of the most entertaining games of the year, but I don't know if that's going not in a good way. I think it might be somewhat of a. I don't know. I think it's going to be a little messy, but I think it's going to be very entertaining. I think Tennessee and Bama are both in places that they don't want to be, but I think Bama is worse off than us. I mean, it's kind of hard to bounce back against the loss of Vandy. You can kind of see it. That game against South Carolina, boy, that was everything in that game. Like, you can't make up that type of game. Like, that was just crazy. So I'm just interested to see what happens. Does anybody have an update on Peely, on his status?
Not yet, but what I'm hearing is he's done for the year, and we won't ever see him in orange again, man.
Sheesh.
Don't know what it was. And I mean, watching it too, y'all, in the stadium, I still was like, what happened? I don't know what happened. I don't know what part of his body was injured. I don't have a clue. South Carolina ran for 132 yards on Alabama, threw for almost 250. They average almost
a better quarterback, and they don't have Beamer. They win.
I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. But the reason South Carolina lost that game is they had 4 turnovers, 3 fumbles and a pick. They had 4 turnovers. That's why they lost the game. Bama's beatable, y'all. It's really simple. They're beatable, and not just beatable. They're extremely beatable. But if we come out like we've
wide open,
this is how I feel. It's Texas, and everybody else right now. It really genuinely to me is. I mean, them dudes is just different right now, and they just put together a good roster. And I do think they lose to Georgia this week, though. I ain't gonna cap.
I don't.
You don't?
I think there's no dominant team in the country, but I don't think even if Texas does win, I still don't think they're just a flat out dominant team. But I don't have them losing to Georgia, not at home.
Man, I hope you're wrong.
I think next week. At least this is my hope. My hope is that by Heupel calling that overtime the way he called it, he showed our offense, you guys can do this. You can run my offense the way that I have run my offense in years past. It's right there for you to do it. You just have to work together, block some damn body, and do something with that. I also think going into this week, from all of Tennessee media, because we can't do anything about the national media, they're going to talk about Nico nonstop, even though, again, still love the kid, still think he's going to be great. He's not done anything to earn the hype yet. He hasn't. That's just honest. We need to focus on DeSamp to take some of the pressure off Nico, in my opinion.
No, James, we will not storm the field. No. It ain't gonna be the first time in 15 million years. We're gonna handle them, and we ain't storming no field. We won. Game over.
I think it's gonna be like a 21-18 type game, though.
Well, Dylan thinks it's gonna be 3-2.
Dylan
says it's gonna be a rock fight against Bama. My score prediction may be for real 3-2.
It can't be 3-2 because their defense isn't good enough to get a safety. So if it's 3-2, that means we lost. So let's change that.
Somebody asked. No, James asked. You're right. He says, "How was it on third downs? It sounded loud AF." Yeah, third downs in crunch time, like when the game got gritty and tough. Oh, bro, you couldn't hear yourself speak, right? Like it gets up there. Like, but for the majority of the game, I mean, it might have been 100 dB, which like it's loud, but it wasn't like it wasn't as crazy as I've been to. Like, I mean, last year against Texas A&M, 2 years ago against Bama, like that's the type of stuff I'm comparing this to. You know, like it was true. Like they're on third downs later back in the back half of the game. Yeah, they're playing the third down for what? They playing spooky rocky. You can't hear anything. Like you don't know what's happening. It's just loud. And that's got to be scary, bro, for an opposing team, man. I don't know what it's like, but I know it's got to be scary. It's gonna force you to do things you didn't want to do. Florida had like 2 delay a game penalties in back-to-back drives. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can blame that on Lagway, or you can just say it was turned up and it was loud, bro. Let's see. Adrian says Georgia beats Texas and we win out. Ooh, Adrian, you are wild.
Let me have what he's having.
Noah, we are not going to flood that field, though. No, sir. If we flood the field, I'm leaving. We indulged in that once, man. It ain't nothing new if you do it again, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not enough hype in this one.
No, and it's not been years. You know what I mean? It's been a year. It is what it is. Tennessee can win the game. Sale, I'm assuming you'll be out tomorrow night, but C2, you can't say anything. Sale, early prediction right now for this Tennessee and Bama game, since we won't see you till next Sunday.
2017 Bama.
I
I ain't want to do it, but
I didn't want to do that.
yeah,
Now, I will say this. I'm going to come back to your score, but Adrian said we will flood Georgia Field when we beat them. Yes.
Nah, because they'll actually arrest our people for that. not their players, but they'll come after us.
Hey, this was lit, though. There was a kid in the Samson jersey dancing.
Yes.
Hey, bruh. That boy was going hard, bro. He was going in. It was tough. I was like, hey, man, boy is cultured. You hear me? He is cultured. He was hitting the.
I saw that boy been on TikTok.
He said, $1 million baby. He's cultured. You hear me? Oh man. Well, Sale says 20-17. Bama picks against the Vols for the first time in 2024. I got a score. I can't wait for it tomorrow. I can't wait to hear everybody score tomorrow. Hopefully the man turns
I don't like
back
it,
with us.
so, but I understand.
C2's a surprise guest on the Monday show tomorrow. I'm shocked about it.
Sir.
So C2 will be there, and then we get that man Stephen Cawley, and Stephen's going to talk to us all about Alabama, what they bring, how he feels. And if y'all have never watched the show with Steven, tune in live. I'm trying to tell you, this dude knows football and he's educated. And he is not the casual, delusional Alabama fan who's just like, oh, we're Bama. Like, we just don't lose. Like, he's not that guy. He's the guy that actually tells you, we suck at this. And this defense is doing this. And goodness gracious, if you just stop Ryan Williams, we can't do that. Like, he's real about it. And you'll like his takes on what this game can be, because we talked on the phone and we both have no idea what to expect. And that's why tomorrow night's going to be fun. So tap in with us, y'all, at 7:15 Central, 8:15 Eastern tomorrow night, live right here on YouTube and Facebook. Y'all boys have anything else, man, before we rock it and close up and get ready for this week?
It's scary how similar the Titans and the Vols teams are. Like the Vols are better than the Titans, but listen, the only good thing the Titans have going for them, running game on offense. Best part of the Titans team on defense, their defensive line and some of their linebackers. Their defense is keeping them in the game, and the offense can't do anything. I saw back-to-back wide receiver screen passes and had flashbacks to the Arkansas game.
Oh God!
I didn't know what was going on, but I do think I've got a prediction for tomorrow. But I'll save it till then.
I do too, and I'm going to tell y'all, I'm done picking Tennessee to score 30.
Oh yeah,
but I got a score for you tomorrow that might include 30.
There might be some defensive touchdowns, but I'm with C2. Nico got to earn my respect.
And maybe he will. Maybe he will. Maybe this is the week. Who knows? We've been saying this now for the last 2 weeks. Maybe this is the week. But we finally saw some stuff that makes me truly believe it. And that's why I can't wait to reveal a lot of stuff on the Scout tomorrow. But y'all know what to do, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell notification, man, so you guys never miss an episode. We still climbing, man. Instagram is going nuts still. But right here on YouTube is going crazy as well. Over 1,010 subscribers, man. Let's get to 1,100 before the end of this thing, man. And we get kicked up for basketball. Tennessee basketball plays a game, y'all, in like 3 weeks. Yo,
That's wild.
This roster, I'm excited about this roster. I can't wait to see what they do. Very excited about a lot of them cats, especially D Stone.
They got a Final Four roster.
And Felix Okpara is a lot better than I thought. So excited for Tennessee basketball, but y'all know what to do, man. We can't wait. We'll see y'all tomorrow night live, 7:15 Central, 8:15 Eastern for my guy Sale. It's your boy Ruck in the building. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to C2 as well. It's straight up Tennessee, baby. We'll see y'all tomorrow night. What a week. Third Saturday in October. Let's get it.